Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here, and welcome back to another episode on the YouTube channel. In today's video, it's a video that I didn't think was going to come here in Season 9, especially after what looked like we're throwing away the title. In today's video, it's the final two games of the EPL season, and we currently sit level 1 points with Man City, and it is a two-horse dogfight to the title. With that being said, give it a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and maybe, just maybe, we can do the unthinkable after City led by 5 points of only 4 or 5 games to go this season. We completely wrote off the league, and I definitely thought the next episode, the time we're going to see ourselves for this episode, for instance, was going to be that FA Cup final. Let's go and recap how we're here, and then we've got a few little things to talk about in terms of what we're doing in terms of definitely in Season 10, and my ideas for Season 10. But let's first just see what City has done. So since we last met, obviously, there was only a handful of games to go. City had Everton, right? City had Everton, who are currently in the relegation zone. Aston Villa, who are 15th. Norwich, and have 2 games to go. They beat Everton 1-0. And then against Aston Villa, they led 1-0 at home and dominating. And then a very quick double from Aston Villa in the last 10 minutes of the game. Bang, bang. They lost 2-1. Okay, things are interesting, but they're still ahead. And I've got Norwich, Fulham, and Spurs. You really don't think maybe the only game they're going to drop out of that is on paper Spurs, and that's not enough for us to win the title. Well, Norwich went to the Etihad, the Manchester City of stadiums, and Man City again, having over 2.44 XG, decided that they were going to dominate, but couldn't score more than 1 goal. And Norwich sat there and they got pummeled, and in their fight for survival found a point. And for us, what it meant is the 5-point gap has now turned into 0. I personally don't think we win the title, to be fair, in this episode. I think we win both games. I think City turn around and go bang bang. They beat their final 2 rivals. I think they beat Spurs on the final day, and I think it was Fulham, who currently sit in 13th. I think City are good enough to do that. And I don't see us winning by enough goals to overturn the goal deficit as well, which kind of means, if you add the 5 goals, if we didn't lose 5-0 to Liverpool in the last episode at home, we're currently what? 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. We're only 2 goals behind. Who knows? Maybe we pump Leeds and we pump Wolves and we win the title on goal difference. We overturn it. But now we're too far back. Let's go and recap our results, and then I need to talk to you guys about what we're going to do. So obviously, after what was a disappointing episode, especially in terms of a Premier League look, last episode, we beat Newcastle 2-1 in a game that, we were okay. We had over 3 XG, but we needed an 84th minute winner. We scored under our XG again in this 4-3-3 that we've been playing. We then obviously yet again beat Swansea away from home and yet again scored under our XG, 3.49. Why are we scoring so little under our XG? We then played against Brentford, and I've got to show you this, is in terms of the chronological order of these games, as I played them last night, I had some issues with my phone, trying to charge my phone, so I played a couple games off stream, wasn't expecting much. And then I was talking to my mate Paul, who's in the Twitch chat today, throughout the day. And what I said was, and me and him were having a discussion about why we are obviously in a position where we're underscoring our XG every season or finishing on our XG, where usually when you win the title, you're about 10 goals plus. And why is there the issue that it always seems to be that we can't manage throughout the whole season to be as consistent as the start? And so me and him are having a chat, and if you have a look at the system, the total control system we built, yes, it's a good system, but it's so heavy on scoring goals and putting chances away. We're heavily on attacking. We're heavy in being a very high tempo, being a bit more direct. We're heavy on, how we press and everything so whatever, and, we're inviting pressure inside, etc. And with that chat, I decided, and you know what? I'm going to tweak the 4-3-3. We're not going to go to a 2-man system, which we were thinking about in last episode. We're going to tweak the 4-3-3. We're going to make some slight, subtle changes. And next season, I will draw up a 4-3-3 for the bigger games that's a little bit more defensively solid. And maybe a 4-3-3 for when legs are getting a little bit tired, towards end of games where you're 2-0 up or you're 1-0 and you want to sort of hold on. Yes.
Can you help me for
No, I cannot.
Well, when can you?
About 2 hours.
2 hours?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Well, it can't be. You need 1 second with me.
No problems. Well, you got to at least give me 10 minutes.
Okay, will you come out in 10 minutes?
No problems. There we go. Good to have Mum, disrupt a YouTube video, which is always nice. We're too far into this explaining tactics that I can't go back now. That I feel like us creating a tactic to micromanage those games is something that we need to do as well. Now, for this run-in, I'm keeping that in the episode. That's not leaving the episode. She makes the stream, man. Exclamation mum in chat. Exclamation mum in chat. You can cut it out. I'm not cutting it out. I'm just, there it is. I personally won't make the changes for Man City about being the harder game in the FA Cup, but I think what we have to do here against Leeds is give the new 4-3-3 a go. And the reason why is I moved into this system after 60 minutes against Brentford. It was 2-1. It was a gamble a little bit, but we're dominating. I want to see what happens in the new system. Now, if we compare the total control, it's attacking, it's free-flowing. There is player roles, if you can look through some of the player roles, but there's not many. Some of the roles are different, like wing-backs and complete wing-backs and, half-back and inverted winger and a winger on support, right? The pressing's a bit different. In this Wrexham idea for Season 10, and an idea that we're going to have a look at against Leeds, see if it works, is we go from attacking to positive. Now, I've always been big on using positive in previous football managers. I found this year, every time I've been on positive, my teams will go and get XG and not score at all. My teams will not get into position and do what I need them to do. But there's player roles and instructions that I've built so far that I think are going to help the team, right? And that is in here, which is a mismatch of things, but it's beautiful. Firstly, on fairly narrow. Now, main reason being on fairly narrow is I have all my best players in the middle of the park or coming inside, right? So if we look at the system here, I've got a Robinson that's going to be an inverted wing back who can play it and come inside. And he is world class no matter how you play him. But I think for balance and to help out a defensive midfielder with two central midfielders going on will help the team. Because it means that we're going to have a guy that's sitting as an anchor instead of a halfback. I'm putting an anchor in. The halfback will drop in and create the back three. I actually want to have two centre backs and then an anchor man and an inverted wing back together to create a box in here. For when we get hit on the break, we've got a box, right? And I think the inverted wing back will provide more balance. What it also means that I can do on the other side is we can still look to underlap. And the underlap here isn't so much for Robinson to go, but that might be Junior, who he's got on the stay wide, shoot left off spin as a winger. It might be for Desiree Due to get beyond him here. Or it might be for Herman, who's on roaming positions, to get into the half space here and allow for Dennis to come in on the underlap, for instance. So I'm going to try that. But it also means on the other side as we go complete opposite. Well, on the overlap, we've got a complete wing back. We've got Destiny Udogie, who is going to play the end of this season, but I'm telling you next year, Walter at 20 years of age is ready to be first choice. And we've got a left winger who has an inside forward, either if it's Herman or Consigli, that is world class on, you know what? That doesn't get good match ratings sometimes, but when they are on, they will destroy the game and the match engine with the pace, the physicality, and the ability to score goals from being an inside forward. And that's why staying narrow is so important. Consigli's already forced in this position to be inside. So what I will do is when we're with the ball and in build up, start wide as a player role. And then as you see your doggy coming in, we're going on the underlap. On this side, it's on the overlap. Consigli will come inside. And in a narrow system, once we got the ball and he's coming inside, I think he'll be fantastic. Right? Now, these two roles don't change. I think centre mid on attack's the most overpowered role in the game. Desiree Due, playing as advanced playmakers, played the season of his life, so I haven't changed that. However, I think in the bigger games, we go box to box, and we've got guys that can play box to box, especially George Davies as well. Now, you might be thinking, well, in a narrow system, shouldn't you be looking to play the focus through the middle? No. The focus has to be out wide, but be fairly narrow. What that means is we're going to get all our best players closer together in the middle of the park through here. But realistically, when we're building up, it's little combine of passes at higher tempo. And then can we ping it out to the wide guys? Can we give it to Junior, which allows Desiree Do or Dedes or Herman to come inside of him as a winger that holds the ball out there and put it into their path? Can it be that the ball goes to Consigli on the left-hand side, and as he drives inside, because we've forced the play down the left-hand side, that's when the overlap to Destiny Doggy does. I feel like if you go through the middle in a narrow system, it becomes too congested. Last thing I've also done is look at the pace we've got. We've got a guy with 15-16. We've got Consigli who's got 16-16. We've got a guy that is 18-17. When Dedes is getting up the field, he's got 19-15. And off the bench, you've got Mohammed, who's 16 with pace. Neshri, who's got 17-17. And Ben Doak, who's got 16-16. Yes, Consigli's big in the air. Yes, Josh Herman wins his fair amount of headers. Yes, Dedes isn't overly short. Yes, Desiree Do, I think, is also over 6 foot or 6 foot. I think getting on early crosses, low crosses. If Junior decides that he wants to get the ball out wide, beat a man, and whip the ball in very early, we've got guys running back stick, the striker, the inverted foot or the inverted winger, or the other way around, or the Destiny Doggy overlap. It doesn't have to be an overlap to the byline. Overlap quickly, ball in. I think if we hit early crosses and allow for the gap between the back four, back five are against, and the goalkeeper to be bigger, that will allow for our pace of the front three to get more clear-cut chances to score, instead of when we're dominating in this system, they get to the byline, they cut it, and the opposition has 8 guys in the box, and we keep getting shots blocked. So I think doing this little adaptation is going to allow us to get the ball into the area, in behind their back four, and with our striker or winger running onto it, or a midfielder coming from deep, and be able to put the ball in the back of the net. I think that's a play. Counter press and shorter, that's same as what the other one is. The only other difference is I've taken off prevent short goalkeeper distribution. I've taken off trap inside. I'm going to leave it neutral. I'm going to leave this neutral. But I've asked us to step up more. What I'm trying to do is congest the lines, stay nice and high, stay nice and close, be aggressive to win the ball, but allow the opposition to play out from the goalkeeper. I don't want to sit on there and force them to go long, and with the high line, they come in behind. No. I want them to play to their centre-back and then put the pressure on, put the trap on, allow them that false sense of security to play that first pass short and then look to hit them on the break. Instead of doing what we're doing here, which is, we're going to stay in your face and we're going to come at you. And a lot of the goals we concede is actually go long, win the flick on, and they score. That's my plan. There is player roles here too. We've got tackle harder on a lot of guys and cross less often. Shoot less often, etc. Roam from position on both the central midfielders so they can go and underlap in all those half spaces. But shoot less often is up for Consigli, who's fantastic, and Herman's Herman. So that's my tactic. That's my team. Your team for this first game here is going to be Dominguez, Robertson, Cunnington, Parsons, your doggy, Koulibaly, Desiree Do. Dedes is playing. Now, I know that as a central midfielder on attack, he's not the greatest, but when you look at his stats and how elite he is, he probably could go whatever. Consigli, Junior, and Herman. And let's see what we can do. Score prediction in the chat. Big shout out to Paulie. Polly, my mum makes a stream. Yes, she does. She does indeed. But she can be annoying. And look, that's 13 minutes of waffle. Now we're going to have about 15 minutes of gameplay that has to be perfect for us. Now, a lot lies in what Man City do. I think the only way we win the title is if Man City are going to win today, but then they draw or lose to Spurs on the final day. But let's see what happens. Let's see how we go. New system, away from home against Leeds. This is the sort of game next year that I would play still this sort of system. But against maybe some of the stronger sides or the mid-table sides, have a system that's away game, on balance, middle of the lines, still looking to play football when we have the ball, but really see how we're going in the game and then move into a system if we're dominating. All right, first highlight here is Parsons sweeping up. Still got ball-paying defenders on cover. Koulibaly now finds Desiree Do. Drives with the ball, finds Junior. Early ball in looking for Herman, who heads over the bar. That's fine. And I don't mind the early cross. I do not mind the early cross at all. Obviously, we hope in that sort of system, and as we get better in that sort of highlight, that's a quicker ball out the junior, and it's a quicker ball in to Herman, so he can be a bit more freer. But that's okay. Also, on positive, we should have more possession than we're on attacking. And so far, 69% possession in 32 minutes isn't bad. Man City, as you can see, there are 1-0 to the good, which unfortunately means that we have to win today to still have a chance to win the title. And Desiree Do, from a set piece, hits one, hits the outside of the post. It was very, very close. Parsons now approaching half-time. Destiny, your doggy. Finds Dedez. Poor touch from Dedez. Just don't rate him as a central midfielder. I really don't know what made me go for him. Wow. There we go, boys. Title basically over. Dedez makes a mistake. A guy that we sold Mariba for Dedez. A guy that Mariba had nine or 10 goal contributions in 15 games. And I said, you know what? I'm never going to get more than 90 million for him. So we have to take it. And then bought a guy for 78 million that can't even play the role effectively. I will hold my hands up and say that Dedez is the main reason we will not win the title, and that's solely on me. 1-0 down here. I feel like we've played well. I definitely feel like we've played well, but it looks like this title is going to be over here. 70% possession, 1 shot, 1 attack, 1 goal. It is what it is. We need a goal here, and we need one quickly. Desiree Do hits one just over the bar. Can we find one? It's not really been our day, has it? 5 shots, only 1 on target. That's not good. Corner for Consigli. Whips one in towards the basket. Destiny, your doggy's a big boy. Herman volleys well wide. No clear-cut highlight so far. 7 shots, only 1 on target. Robinson finds Desiree Do. Junior finds Herman. Don't know why Herman's trying to twist it and play Junior where the ball just came from instead of going the other way. Into Connor. Van Bommel. 2-0 down, title over. Well, there goes the title, boys. We've discussed a brand new system and we just get beat. That's fun. And there is the title, and that's all she wrote, and there we are. There we go. Barring a miracle here, which I don't see coming, we're going to lose the title again. More heartbreak. Last 3 seasons, we've had a chance to win the title. All 3 seasons, we've thrown it away. And well, boys, we don't even get to the final day of the season. We just lose the title. Now. We cannot put a shot on target. We cannot put a shot on target. Well, yeah. Away from home against Leeds and bang. It is what it is. You get what you get. And that is the title over. City win the title. I'm not going to give you guys the final game of the season here. We would have to win by 11 goals to win the title. So that's the end of this episode. Keep it nice, short, sharp, and shiny. 18 minutes here. I'm going to play this Wolves game off YouTube, obviously. And then next episode, I'll see you guys for the final day of the season, which will be the FA Cup final against Manchester City at Wembley. And hopefully, fingers crossed, it goes a lot better than what that just did. I will play the new tactic in the last game of the season at home against Wolves. And if it does go ballistic, I will play it against Manchester City. If not, back to the drawing board. You know, the game against Brentford was the main reason we went to it. I really should have showed you guys the goal. We're going to do that now. I know there's maybe a little bit of a mismatch here. But, you know, we played pretty well. I think we'll give you guys like the Consigli goal late doors. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Anytime we've made adaptations or changes to a tactic this season, it's just gone wrong. And every time we played the 4-3-3, we haven't scored. I don't know. But yeah. It is what it is. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.